March Madness is about dreamers. It represents hope, the chance for everyone to believe on a given day or night that it could be their time to be the shining star. If you're fortunate enough to get to Monday night, it's permanent. It's a part of history. It will be played back forever.
Chalmers for the tie. Got it in 10 seconds. Duke has won its first national championship. And Virginia with the all-time turnaround title. Syracuse is your national champion. When people say you can, you can. Gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
That's been one of the great hooks through all the years of this tournament. Some call it Cinderella, some call it the underdog. The thread that is woven through every championship ever played is one word: dream.
I've been dreaming of this since I was probably 10 years old.
Since my dad put a basketball in my hand, since I shot my first hoop, since I played my first game.
I grew up watching this as a kid, filling out the brackets,
watching the games on my laptop.
As a kid, I did grow up watching it, hopefully dreaming of being it one day.
I can only imagine myself as a little boy watching myself on TV.
Words can't really explain what it feels like.
Something that we'll never forget, you know. I can't believe it. It's been a long dream of mine, and now it's finally here.
Looking for the lead, the floater, and it's Aztec madness. To lean on a run out, all the way to the basket, he laid it in! On the evil lead! Jackson in! Oh my goodness! Oh, Houston and Bradley taking over. Caravan, we got another one at the buzzer. With 2 seconds, he's got to put it up. A San Diego State miracle.
cut down the nets, it would just feel like a dream come true.
It would mean the world to my family, to my friends.
That would be the greatest day of our lives.
Can't really dream anything bigger than that.
Now tonight, it's their chance to see their dream come true. The great city of Houston is a melting pot of dreamers, and tonight it's championship night with San Diego State in this position for the first time ever. Here come the Aztecs running onto the court, trying to become the first team from the state of California to win a title since UCLA in 1995. Meantime, the UCONN Huskies have won 4 titles since '99. They've never lost in the championship game, a perfect 4-0. We've had 66 games played to get to the final 2, and we have the first ever meeting in a final between a 5 and a 4 seed. Hello, friends. Jim Nance with Grant Hill, Bill Raftery, Tracy Wilson, and Gene Steratore. Dream on. Dream until your dreams come true. And that is so true, my friends. It's great to be with you both tonight.
Yeah, Jim, tonight it's all about those dreams lasting forever. And we get one last night with the GOAT, Final Four's best friend.
Thank you, my friend.
What a night for these young people. This guy was here 3 out of 4 times in this game. You slacked off one year. What happened?
Hey, listen, here in Space City, it has been all systems go for Sonogo of UConn, Bill. What a tournament he's had.
I just love this kid. Great attitude, great personality. The ability to improve his footwork has made him a tough out, that low boxer. How about this? Knocking down some threes, Grant Hill. Showing his entire game. We know what he can do on that glass. Solid, strong, competitive, and yes, give him a little hug. The Hurleys love this kid. And how about these numbers as well? So good during the tournament. 20, 68% in 10.
Hey, if you're wondering about Jordan Hawkins fighting a stomach bug at the beginning of the Final Four weekend. He is fine now. We met with him 100%. Let's switch over now to San Diego State and this great run to the final, and they have really a lot of parts. They're chipping in to get him here.
Yeah, this is a committee-based approach, a collective effort. It was on display, Jim. In the second half, they were down. They guarded the three-point line, which is a must against this Connecticut team. And, of course, they were able to get threes themselves. They don't shoot a lot, but they got to step up and knock them down with confidence. And then on the glass, you talk about blue collar. This is Aztec basketball. Offensive rebounds, eat. You do those little things, and magic moments occur.
Well, we've got to know more about the man, Lamont Butler, who has worked his way into Aztec lore. Tracy, over to you.
Jim, that was not Lamont Butler's first buzzer beater of this season, but it certainly was the most meaningful. He had to turn his phone off on Saturday night because he received so many text messages and so many phone calls. But he told me last season at this time, he doesn't know if he would have had the confidence to take that shot. He only took 11 jumpers inside the three-point line last year. He made just one. So he stayed in San Diego. He worked on that shot over and over, and that hard work has paid off, and he's playing for a national championship.
Boy, did it ever pay off. All right, Coach Dutcher, Coach Hurley, let's go. Let's dream on. It's championship night. It's coming away with the lineups and the anthem on CBS. At this time, we ask those willing and able to please rise to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad. The presentation of the colors is provided by the Houston, Texas Joint Service Color Guard. Carrying the large American flag are members of NASA's leadership and workforce from across the agency. They are accompanied by NASA's newly announced Artemis II crew. And now please welcome former Cal State Fullerton track and field student athlete and NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We're back here in Houston. San Diego State, which has won its last two games by a single point, and UConn making it here with 5 straight double-digit victories. We're going to go inside now for the lineups. Welcome to Houston, and hello, friends. The 2023 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship game. Let's meet the teams. Playing in the national championship game for the first time in school history, let's meet the San Diego State Aztecs.
Tonight's the night.
Bring it home.
You can't stop us. Let's go!
Bradley,
He's got another one. Oh, knocking him down.
all the way back from 14 down. It's Butler. He's got to put it up, and he wins it. A San Diego State miracle. Starting tonight for the San Diego State Aztecs. At forward, a 6'7" senior from Oakland, California, number 0, Keyshawn Johnson. At forward, a 6'10" senior from Accra, Ghana, number 31, Nathan Mensah. At guard, a 6'2" junior from Moreno Valley, California, number 5, Lamont Butler. At guard, a 5'10" senior from Marin City, California, number 12, Darion Trammell. And at guard, a 6'4" senior from San Bernardino, California, number 20, Matt Bradley. Appearing in the title game for the 5th time in school history and seeking their 5th national championship, here are the UCONN Huskies.
This is our night. Let's go. Let's go, Husky Nation.
Let's go! Swatted away by Sanogo. Calcaterra with the 3. Elevation. Jackson in. Oh, my goodness. Jackson. Back outside. Wow. Caravan. Wow. Langan says no.
Starting tonight for the UCONN Huskies. At forward, a 6'8" freshman from Southborough, Massachusetts, number 11, Alex Caravan. At forward, a 6'9" junior from Bamako, Mali, number 21, Adama Sanogo. At guard, a 6'5" senior from El Paso, Texas, number 2, Tristan Newton. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Gaithersburg, Maryland, number 24, Jordan Hawkins. And at guard, a 6'6" junior from Amsterdam, New York, number 44, Andre Jackson Jr. And introducing the head coaches for San Diego State in his 6th season for the Aztecs, Brian Dutcher. For UConn in his 5th season for the Huskies, Dan Hurley. Well, there they are, 2 sons of coaches meeting at midcourt, and now their team's about to meet for the national championship. Coming up on CBS. The Aztecs' journey to the championship, a 1-point win in the regional final against Creighton, a 1-point win against Florida Atlantic on Saturday, overcoming 14 points down in the second half. Meanwhile, UConn, look what they've done. They've virtually blown out everybody. Miami got within 8 at one time in the second half last Saturday, but most of the time it was double figs. The officials, they've all got championship history. Oglesby, Kemble, Groover, congratulations to the three of them for drawing this prestigious assignment. And let's get it going here for the title. Now the journey, it ends right here tonight.
Gymnastics Grand Hill in Houston. Yes, let's go. A little bit of it. A lot of activity, a lot of cutting and screening by UConn.
After 66 games played, these two teams, the last two that go after it as Newton comes around the screen and lost it on the way in, and it's going to stay this way with 10 on the clock.
And since February 1st, San Diego State's defense has been #1 in the nation efficiency-wise, but it will be tested here with all that movement you discussed earlier, Ralph.
Pace is important, Jim. Everybody wants to slow it down a little bit. Woo-woo for UConn.
Here's Hawkins. He pulls up and fires it just like he did Saturday. He hits his opening shot of the game.
It's amazing what fluids can do for that body, huh? Goodness, he looked fresh in warm-ups, Grant.
He really did.
Nixon now gives it to Bradley, who also is off to a hot start in the semifinal game. That's Butler. Oh, take it right up where we left off. This time a three.
And when you hit a game winner, that confidence is riding high.
33% from deep.
Nothing but net again. Jackson lost it for a moment, retrieves.
Interesting for UConn. Jackson on a little curl play here for Newton in the backcourt final. Oh, what a save. I guess he stepped on the line.
Backcourt violation.
I'm talking about getting some mileage. Hawkins coming off of a screen and a dribble handoff, and he's gotten better off the bounce, Raph. 1-2 dribble pull up, and right back at you. Butler showing some range on his first possession.
It'll be Butler with Hawkins eyeing in.
Mostly on the perimeter. Nice screen across. A little America's play screen to screener.
Butler looking for a lane, splits defenders on the floor, needs help, and it's going to stay at this end. It slipped out of the hands of Jackson. I guess there was enough of a possession change. They'll get 30 on the clock.
I thought Hawkins committed a foul there on that little dribble drive.
Well, right now they're letting them play a little bit. We talk about how are the officials going to call this game? Are they going to let them be physical, which in theory should work to the Aztecs' advantage?
Letting him breathe a little bit, let him enjoy. Unless it's a harsh commitment. They're checking on the clock, Jim, for that reason. How about
they're going to change it now. They're going to say just 3.5.
No possession.
Okay.
Tracy was talking about his phone blowing up. He keeps playing like this. His bank account's going to blow up.
He's going to need two phones. This is a big change right here. So trying to explain things to Brian Dutcher at the far end.
Watch the corner jumper.
Oh, now they're going back to 20. Look at this, man.
Wow, interesting.
Okay, so time here for the Aztecs to operate. Butler needs help. It's outside to Johnson, who looks up, head fake on Caravan. Feeds the corner, and that's another three.
How about that, Trammell, huh?
Trammell,
Goodness.
The MOP of the regional, who hit the winning free throw to bring them to Houston.
Small in stature, big in heart, though, that kid. Little baseline bumps. Snoke hasn't gotten a touch till now.
They want Mensah to be ever so careful to not draw a foolish first foul, is how they call it. That's something they are concerned with, especially against the size of Sanogo, who hits his first shot.
Right there, that was good defense. Mensah did a great job contesting on that hook, but Sanogo, wow, getting it done.
Big thing defensively, they didn't have to help.
That bounce pass, but it's shut off as Sanogo came over to help out on Caravan.
Little double late.
And Johnson on the board as well.
And nice coming away from the traffic, too, on that double. This is a key match, I think, right here. He's got to turn the corner, break it down a little bit.
So much for the jitters. The championship night, 5 for 5 combined from the floor to start.
Now, see, Jim, everybody can stay at home now. Because Mensah's such a good defender. Maybe a dig here and there.
Let's go outside to Newton. That's off the mark.
Look at the checkouts.
And Mensah, he didn't he? They were able to clear out UConn.
Bradley loves that step-back jumper. Mensah can make about a 15-footer.
That's all air that time. Now Newton racing ahead. That's Trammell who knocked it out of his hands.
Nice cut.
To Jackson.
Constant movement right there. Jackson always seems to be in the right place at the right time. And UConn, that's where they thrive, Raph, in transition.
This is where he is tough. Side saddle jumpers, little drive.
Top score for the Aztecs, and he gets the roll and bounce.
Forced him to put it on the deck.
Matt Bradley, who had a big game against Florida Atlantic with 21.
Trammell really ragging pretty good.
And Sonogo trying to power his way to the bucket. They got a whistle.
I think Mensah with the reach in.
They're going to charge it to Bradley.
Oh, with the dig.
By the way, CBS Sports Golazo Network is a first-of-its-kind free channel dedicated to global soccer coverage. Find it on the CBS Sports app, Pluto TV, Paramount Plus, launching on April 11.
Tough shot. Look at that D when he counters. Wow. A little kiss. Fig Newton.
We've had, now so far in this game, 8 total baskets by 8 different players. So everybody getting warmed up impressively. And that one's not going to go for Bradley.
Went under on the screen and ducked it. A little run out.
Too far for Caravan. Newton thought he might have had just the right touch on it, but it'll belong to the Aztecs. We reach our first break in Houston. And now a look from the drone cam powered by AT&T 5G. How about the pace of this game early?
Well, it has to favor UConn right now. They want to get up and down the court, get 80 points. That's about their average per game. In San Diego State, you don't want to get seduced into running and getting up and down because
fool's goal, are you suggesting?
Exactly.
I think the key, too, for UConn is to let somebody else bring the ball up. You know, Trammell, Butler, they can rag you. Trammell, particularly, maybe Jackson bring the basketball up a little bit and get their set. Looks like Newton's pushing the pace a little bit too much, or they're rushing it.
Newton with 2 turnovers at the start. Meanwhile, San Diego State not turning it over in the first sequence. To the under 16, 4 out of 6 from the floor. They have Butler bringing it up. A rope's on the floor for them, and he brings them a lot, number 33.
Bradley very good coming off screens on that baseline.
Here's a rope. A rope into the paint, whips it short. Off the floor, and it's going the other way.
And in that possession, UConn opting to play one-on-one in the post against a rope there, staying home with shooters. San Diego State knocking down 2 threes thus far.
That was a foul call on a rope.
Oh, interesting.
Undersized physical specimen, I might add. A rope. Hawkins keeps busy. Boys switches and help.
Newton, what do they call it? A charge.
I don't agree with that one. I don't know if he ever got there.
I thought he dropped his left shoulder a little bit on that drive. No, maybe not. No, actually, that left elbow looks like he extended it a bit there.
Gene?
I've got a blocking foul on the play, guys, is what I have. I don't think offense initiated the contact enough. I think the defensive player's moving toward the dribbler when the contact occurs. I would have taken a block.
Thank you,
bang,
Gene.
bang play, though.
Thank you, Gene. I'll pick that check up.
Goes as a first foul on Newton and his 3rd turnover already.
Jackson on Bradley. Got to stay close. Likes to bounce and get that sidestep 3. Nice roll to the goal. Who's there?
Underneath, but Sonogo.
And he's everywhere.
Off a rope. How about Sonogo putting into that idea?
And on the open, we talked about his offensive footwork. Defensively, he has become attuned, alert, in the right spot. Some elevation, to say nothing of his strength.
UConn with that deep bench, still with the 5 starters on the floor right now.
Seiko on the floor now, great shooter.
Sanogo.
Little hook.
There it is, up and over Mensah.
He just loads up, carves out territory. Very tough to get around and deny.
Here's Mensah giving it up to Seiko.
Standstill shooter.
Underneath, getting blocked. This time it rolls off the rim. And blocked by Caravan. A rope looking for a foul that's not there. Meanwhile, there's going to be a foul hurt here on Seiko.
He got hurt too. Got jammed up. And Sanogo, how impressive is he? His work habits are incredible. Don't do your homework early. You're going to pay mightily.
Well, Dan Hurley does a great job of running sets to get him wide open looks there, and his ceiling in the touch, and obviously getting out in transition. Really the only way to slow them down, to foul them in the open court sometimes.
How about how hard the Huskies are making the Aztecs from down low and on the inside? Could be easy buckets. They're not giving them anything.
Well, they're pushing it too. Even if you don't get a fast break, you got plenty of time to run your offense. This is the guy that passes and finds people.
Off the floor with it. That ball hit a leg, and Sanogo lost a shoe, but he's got his 3rd basket already.
Action Jackson just creates things for this team.
Klingon in for UConn, the 7'2" freshman.
What a beautiful pocket pass. A little deflection there against the leg, but the spacing so good. San Diego State stays attached to their shooters there, so a lot of action inside. Sanogo taking advantage.
UConn also brings in Naheem Aline, number 4. So watch Klingon. He's on Ladie, who's seeing some action. Had a big game on Saturday. Here he goes.
They're going to drive him. They love to post him up. Tough to get his shot off against Klingon. What they got? They got a foul? No, 3 seconds. Wow. That's the first I've seen all season.
I was going to say, when's the last time you saw a 3-second call? We haven't seen one the whole tournament. I know that.
No, exactly. This is what he does. Look, he holds his place, stays big. Big influence.
Gene agreed with the calls. We look down the row here, and that's
reflection.
Now last touch by Butler. Little 6-0 run right now by UConn.
They get into you though, Jim and Grant, defensively, the Aztecs. And you got to be careful with the ball.
Well, UConn in their half-court set, they run such great pace. It's hard to be physical. They're moving around 100 miles an hour.
Look at this play. What a curl. Not a good finish, but what a great set.
A rope up ahead. Seiko. Rope. They want to give it up. Stepping back, Parrish.
That's his game. He hunts shots.
Yeah, he hit some threes in the second half of that comeback.
Nice swing and run.
Oh, he
made that bad pass.
But he got a charge instead.
And led the big guy right into it. You got to read ahead as a perimeter guy. Really puts him in a bad position right here.
Looked like he walked before maybe the charge.
Which would have been the better call for the Huskies. But
look at him run the floor.
I think you might be right on the walk. But
give credit to Butler. They're taking the charge on the big guy.
But paying the price, you got to protect your guy.
Excuse me, Seiko.
You got to read ahead.
Gene, did that walk happen before the charge?
Yeah, I think it did. He took an extra step in there, and I think we did have a travel before the run over, but it is definitely a charge if he doesn't have the walk.
Arcatera on the floor now with a lot of energy. This is the shoot. 75% of his shots over his career, Seiko, are threes.
Ladie fade away. Off the mark, tap to the corner by Newton.
And Ladie's not going to be able to back down Klingon. He's got to face him up and use his quickness.
Long drought now by the Aztecs without scoring. Over 4 minutes.
Very tough to beat him with the bounce, too. He's got a little hook game, turnaround jump shot, nice kick.
Sets up a lead. And as Newton keeps it at this end. Alcantara puts it up and it rattles out. Ladie looks around. Will he challenge the big man? No. They'll take the outside three, and it's off the mark. All UConn around the ball.
Falling in love with that three-point shot. Nothing in the paint right now for the Aztecs.
He does. I think his Klingon's presence as well. That drop defense, prohibitive.
No points for either side in over 2 minutes, but 5 minutes for San Diego State.
Now, they do get in droughts.
Katera with 5 to shoot. To Klingon.
How about that drive draw? You're in never land as the defender. Big fella looming large at the rim.
8-0 run by UConn.
One of the few times I've gotten in the lane, too. UConn.
The D on the way in. Ball was mishandled. And again, the Huskies race ahead with Caravan taking it in and up. No. They're going to have a block call against San Diego State. It's on Ladib. Well, it's a great start for the Aztecs, but they've gone cold now. The Huskies are hitting and dunking and lead this game by 4. And let's go over to Tracy.
You've held San Diego State without a basket for over 5 minutes here. What did you tighten up defensively?
Well, I thought they made some hard shots to start. I thought we were a little bit soft defensively. And then obviously, you know, this is a big spot. So some things kind of go on in the beginning of the game that are uncharacteristic.
You told me you take this 4 minutes by 4 minutes. What will the next 4 minutes mean for you?
Yeah, just getting kind of, you know, having that variety on offense. Obviously, they're pressuring us out of the scoring area. As the game wears on, I think that pressure, you know, will disintegrate a little bit, and we'll be able to, you know, play more fluidly offensively.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Dan Hurley in his 5th year at UConn. He says that Jim Calhoun and Gino Auriemma have both been great to him, trying to become the 3rd consecutive head coach for the Huskies to win a national title. That's pretty remarkable when you think the architect, of course, the father of it all, Jim Calhoun, and Kevin Ollie won a title in 14.
Hey, what a job Jim did, too. No question about it. He came in. Expectations were not what they became, boy. They are just loaded up the last 15, 20 years. When you're great, no offense to the Duke program. I want to ruin your night here.
Dan Hurley's done a fantastic job. They will be in contention for many years to come with the job that he's done.
I mean, Final Four in Houston. You look at Calhoun in 2011, some similarities coming out of the West. They played San Diego State in the tournament and beat them in the Sweet 16 round in 11. That was Kawhi Leonard's last college game. And both were unranked in the AP preseason. And they made their way to the championship night. The Huskies won it in 11 here. There's Vince short off the front of the rim. Bouncing up to get it is Trammell.
Trouble finding where to go. Dribble drive's important.
Oh my goodness, up ahead. Joey Calcaterra, no. Seiko saves it somehow. Bounce pass. Was a smart play there to get it away from Newton. Johnson flips it, and he's going to shoot foul shots.
Smart play there by Johnson. When you go against a shot blocker, you don't try to avoid him. You attack him right through the chest, make the officials
tell you
call a foul right there. And
I didn't agree with the call, though.
Well, he was moving. Yeah.
I just thought he did his great job.
He did a good job walling up there, but I like the effort by Johnson attacking the shot blocker.
That's the second on Klingon. Remember, he got called for the charge. So, Johnson hits the first. Tomorrow, across the world, the chase is on. The FBI's global crossover event. Tomorrow on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Join the chase and follow the FBI's on Instagram.
They're pretty comfortable when you've got Sunogo coming in for Klingon, though.
How about that?
A lot of fouls there to give.
Sunogo, who's hit his first 3 shots tonight and has been over 70% for the tournament.
And speaking of comfortable, right now, UConn's been very comfortable in their offensive sets. The Aztecs have to make them disrupt their flow.
Interesting group right now. A lot of perimeter guys in Sunogo. A lot of dribble drive.
Newton in the air, didn't know what to do with it.
He's got 3 turnovers already. He's got to be careful.
Evan, fortunate, it got tapped right back to him. Now with 3, he shoots. Tapped around, and Seiko says, "I'll take it."
Well, they got, look at Jackson right in the mix, and they got possession out of San Diego State.
Seiko, the winningest player in San Diego State basketball history. Senior from Boston. As you've alluded to, Bill, he can shoot the three, just hasn't had a chance to get any open looks here in Houston.
Well, he's a catch and shoot guy, so he's not able to blow by anybody.
Well, UConn also great at guarding against the three-point line, guarding the arc, one of the best in all of college basketball.
Haven't made a basket in their last 9 shots. In fact, that last time down the floor, they got to 2 free throws to break a 6-minute-plus stretch without scoring.
They got to get Parrish going a little bit. He's an offensive threat on the floor right now.
With Klingon out the game, post up.
And that one bouncing around and into the hands of Hawkins. Oh, for the last 10. That's open. He's not going to take it, though.
He knows once in a while he can bite you.
Aline up and in.
This is where they are tough. 9 deep with talent. Aline. Southpaw stroke at a piece of the lane.
San Diego State trying to find someone to provide points. And that one's tipped away. That was Jackson from behind who forced it. They're out of sync at that end, have been for now almost 8 minutes.
Hawkins got to get busy a little bit. Nice pass.
There you go. So was trying to block it.
Nice two-man play, and that is his forte. Goodness.
Timeout called by Coach Dutcher.
Those stomach pains now, huh? Free and easy. Ball fake. Sunogo doing it all. And why not? Hawkins finishes with a little kiss in Houston.
Fellas, it's been a 14-2 stretch the last 7.5 minutes. What's happening here?
Well, it's been textbook on both ends, defensively and offensively. The tempo, the speed, the pace, really getting out in transition, making cuts, just not letting San Diego State field them or disrupt them at all. And then organized chaos with a purpose, getting to the rim, finding the big fella. Really, whatever they want, Raph, on the offensive end, Dan Hurley's team getting it done.
And take those numbers out. But Grant, you were saying earlier, you want to push the ball. You may not get fast breaks, but you collapse the defense, and that's what they do. They're energized, get into their sets. They're quick hitters. UConn offense, pretty darn good. Struggle at this end for the Aztecs.
Last 7 minutes, 42 seconds, 0 field goals and 5 turnovers for the Aztecs.
That one rattles out for Bradley, and there's one shot and go for the Huskies.
And that was Sunogo showing on that ball screen, recovered. Magnificent. Watch Hawkins. He keeps busy, screens and pops. A little Rip Hamilton, huh?
Hey, trained with him in the summer. Here's the lead, and he gets the soft bounce.
And you can't focus on one guy with this team. So many people can step up and make plays for the Huskies.
And they had lifted the big Sunogo, too. Plenty of room to roam.
Just no answers at this end for the Aztecs.
This is their favorite play. Screen, dribble, handoff, and duck in.
Inside. Again, short.
The guards rebound for this Husky team.
Vince has missed his first 4 tonight.
Pretty good recovery there. They had a little slapback jumper for Hawkins. Hawkins always busy with the curl.
It's off the mark. And the Aztecs, as UConn gets back quickly on defense. Bradley going to take it, though.
Tough shot. They got
fouled by Hawkins.
Intruded on the landing.
They've missed their last 12 shots, San Diego State, but they'll be shooting free throws, 3 of them.
Welcome back to the Final Four. Coach, you said connected on offense. That's what you needed to be in this game. You haven't been able to do that so far. How do you get something going offensively?
I mean, we've got some good looks. Their length at the rim has bothered us. We've had some good pocket passes, couldn't finish at the rim. So we have to finish at the rim or shot make or kick it out. But their length has bothered us around the rim.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So right. Thank you, Tracy. They are really creating problems with their length.
Well, the interesting aspect of it is that they kick, everybody's staying at home. They can play individually in the box area. But Grant, we talked the other day, they run a ball screen on one side of the floor and a duck in. They haven't done it once on the other block. Ladie or other bigs.
3 coming. First one goes for Bradley. Well, Brian Dutcher, when we met with him all the way back last Tuesday. He told us this team, because here they are down again. This team is unafraid. He said, my team is fearless.
You had mentioned earlier in the game, a coach's son. Goodness, he's been on that bench in major tournaments. NCAA finals.
Yeah, part, of course, valuable part. Just completely connected with Steve Fisher. The 89 championship team. Associate head coach then for the teams as well that went to the 92 and 93 championship game. There is Coach Fisher. And I talked about Jim Calhoun as the architect, the father. This is the father right here, if you will, of San Diego State basketball.
And a true gentleman. Sanogo loading up, and what an entry. I don't know why he went to that side, but he got the foul anyhow.
He had great position there. The floor was so spread, no help at all. And just the multiple ways they find Sanogo, it's so impressive. Doing his work early, fighting inside. And you're right, he could have just gone straight up. But he did draw the foul.
Yeah, and that's Mintza's first. Took him 13 minutes into the game before he drew his first.
If you were coaching, you would take him out of the game for that mistake, probably.
Sanogo to shoot. By the way, this week, watch Masters live on the CBS Sports app and streaming on Paramount Plus for coverage of featured groups, Amen Corner and holes 15 and 16. The Masters, the tradition, unlike any other. Straight ahead.
All the people you promised tickets to.
Yeah, what
do you come through for any?
You know the answer to that. I have none.
Impossible. Again, nothing with the dribble drive.
It's the length also of the perimeter combined with the speed.
Individual D is extraordinary. Look at the help and the recovery.
Parrish down on the blocks. Caravan is behind Mintza. Good wants it. Oh, he pass he didn't need to make.
Shoot it.
He had a good look. He had Caravan. It looked like a better angle, and now there's Hawkins. Oh my goodness, what a shot that was.
Are you serious?
That's all Jackson though. The push and then the curl off, but the shot. Slap out. The shot's impossible, but just love Jackson.
First three of the night for the Huskies.
They almost had a backdoor with the D.
Over 10 minutes without a field goal. Can Parrish end it?
Nice rebound.
Put it right back up. Have a chance. Going to head to the line. Mintza.
And the motor on this guy, you're right, Jackson setting that up, but look at this shot. Contested, deep three off the bounce, quick trigger, and gets approval from the bench there.
Now you see a lot of guys NBA do it. He gets his feet set and his release as quick as any.
But he picked up a second foul right after that shot, fouling Mintza. Mintza, who's the senior out of Ghana. He's already got his diploma. He's working through the business school on his MBA. Had a great visit with him yesterday.
Was he talking about he had a winning goal in soccer? That was the highlight of his career.
Yeah.
Quit soccer because they made him play goalie. Didn't want to play goalie.
Nice follow. They come up empty. Look at Sanogo's strength.
He can defend the basketball goal, though. I know that. He's second all-time in block shots in school history.
First, we're talking to Elijah Wan played soccer. Patrick
Ewing.
Yep.
22 possessions, 4 field goals. They all came early. And now again, over 10 minutes has elapsed since they made a shot from the field.
But again, only 11 down because they are tenacious on the defensive end. Extending the pressure. Got to get it over the timeline.
Got it by a second.
But they do run. Caravan's got range. How about that one, though?
Oh, look at the bounce. And that's Sanogo fighting for it. It's going to stay this end.
And look at Sanogo. 2 guys from the Aztec fighting with him. His strength, his desire right there, and not to be denied, but
look at the strength.
Look at this, holding off 2 guys. Multiple efforts there by the big fella. Why he's been so dominant this tournament.
Such a gentle guy to talk to. Again, the speed, the duck in.
There he is.
What are you going to that side for, big fella? Just power up. A shoe on the floor again.
San Diego State has numbers. They got Seiko. That's what he likes to do.
Goodness, that's a great look for him too, Jim.
He's going to stay with the Aztecs.
Probably the best shot, cleanest look they've had in quite some time. Unable to convert, but
second Husky now coming out of a shoe here in the first half.
I'm impressed that he kept playing. One shoe on and a sock. That's pretty scary.
It's an amazing stretch to think you're only 11 down because you've gone now over 11 minutes. Maybe this will earn it. There it is.
Nice use. And they moved Sunoco out the last couple of trips. I think it's a good movement there.
11:08 will be in the books. Tells the story here to this point in the first half.
Notice the rhythm isn't the same with Hawkins out of the game, and he's taken over this kid. Triple-double machine.
Well, Newton just using his size, getting down into the paint against the smaller Trammell.
Driving in.
Can't get by that guy, Jackson.
There's Newton taking off again after the turnover. Driving in, laying it in for two more.
I'll tell you what, that was 1 against 4 in one moment. The blow-by.
It's a 13-point lead, and remember, this was a San Diego State team that had to come back from 14 down in the semifinal in the second half.
They may have found something here. Nice denial. Look at Sunoco. Goodness. Footwork, denial, deflection.
You're right on here. One-man fast break, the speed, the length. No one from San Diego State can stop, and this team converting off turnovers, one of the best.
From El Paso to El Fumo.
Yeah,
Quick to the rim.
Who all he wanted to do when he picked up a basketball was be better than his brother. That's what motivated him. His brother who plays at Southern Illinois. And there's the shot with 4 on the shot clock. He took it. Trammell. Beat it outside. Newton's on a hot shot. Newton's got another one, this time a 3.
And once again, Jackson with the push. Collapses the D. A little slap back in rhythm. Knockdown.
Sure, his brother Juwan's cheering him on tonight. As he's gotten hot. And expanded this lead to 16. From the outside. And finally, San Diego State able to do something. They got the shot in the lane by Trammell, now the 3 by Butler.
But that's not their game. Their game is in the paint, being effective, getting downhill, drawing fouls, and unable to do so here.
I like this set. He gets Sunoco to nice time.
That's Trammell taking it away. They're trying to feed Newton. Newton tries to get the block, and it rolls off the rim. Calcaterra knows they have numbers.
They sure do.
Oh, good pass. Back again for the 3. Yes.
That's all, Jackson. This kid.
Turnaround, though. They had a bucket at the other end that didn't fall, and they get 3 coming back in a hurry.
Andre. Good. Andre the Giant.
Seiko now. On the floor again, it's the Huskies who get the loose ball. Calcaterra bounce pass to Sunoco. And it's going back to San Diego State. Boy, they're running like they have all tournament long, running away from everybody.
Woo. Pretty impressive, huh? Old Jackson, nylon, getting the puppies organized. The quick push, nail it in, call it in, and then again, hot.
Earlier today, at an event at Johnson Space Center here in Houston, NASA announced the 4 astronauts who will crew the next moon mission, Artemis II. Victor Glover, Christina Cook, Reed Wiseman, Jeremy Hansen. The first time in more than a half-century since Apollo that NASA's assigned astronauts to a lunar mission. You can see the Artemis II astronauts, by the way, on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert this Wednesday night on CBS. Boy, what an ovation they received here.
Impressive.
I thought it was for you, Joe.
No.
That was the other night.
No.
So they are the real deal.
They are.
True heroes.
Right now, getting back to their game, attacking right there on that play, just could not convert. But yeah, San Diego State, they came out, they hit their first 2 threes, and then they've been 1 of 8 since. That's not who they are. They're not a 3-point shooting team.
And the size and length has really been destructive against the Aztecs. Look at the speed of this kid.
at the speed of this team, moving it around as Aline tries the three. And bouncing to the rebound is Butler. Taking it to the lane, and that's going to be a foul against UConn. It's going to be against Aline.
I like the attack. They are not a fast-breaking team. They will, once in a while, get it out and pursue the rim, but this is not their style. They got to run their half-court sets.
Well, they can't get anything. I mean, maybe getting out and executing and attacking before that defense gets set is what they need to do. But in the half court, it's been all UConn defense.
Inbounds they go. Sacco. Oh, that's not a fair matchup. Klingon didn't even have to leave his feet.
He's got to be careful, though, with those 2 fouls. A little bit of a gamble by Daddy Hurley.
And low. Caravan. Second chance, and that's swatted away. Aztecs trying to do something in the last 2 minutes of this half that's gotten away from them. Butler, that pass wasn't.
Who's there?
Well, Klingon saw it coming.
Nice pass.
Wow. How does that circle out? I was ready to drop a couple times. Sacco, catch and shoot.
Klingon again. Goodness.
Jackson out and going.
Oh, he walked out.
He sure did.
He had options there. Wasn't sure if he should give it to Capatera.
But did you see Klingon? I mean, his defensive instincts first on that block. He kind of saved his teammate, helped him out on that block, and then that steal on that post-entry pass. I mean, and the way he gets up and down the court.
He's really got a guard's mentality.
We haven't even seen his shooting. His shooting, he actually can hit that mid-range jump shot.
Absolutely.
UConn, 7 different players with a basket. 8 have played for the Huskies. All 8 have scored in some capacity. As now Trudell.
Look at Jackson did not let Bradley get to the rim.
Johnson settled for the jumper and makes it.
Well, that helps. Boy, there's some breathing. They need a stop or 2 at this end.
UConn shooting 54%. They call a timeout. Set up some action here before the intermission. Huskies by 14. The student section is delivered by Pizza Hut, the official pizza of March Madness. Well, the Huskies, this has been their story for this season, this postseason, just getting away from all of their opponents. They never trailed in the game against Miami on Saturday. They've won every game by double digits. Closest anybody's been to the Hurricanes with 13.
They're an interesting team because they started the year hot, cooled down a little, had some up, but right now they're on such a great roll. The big guy back in the game to save Klingon with the 2. I love that blur screen, and look at the bump by Sanogo. Not a good look here.
Now as Johnson was able to read it, they addressed a cut on Sanogo's hand and stopped the bleeding during that timeout.
They said the Eagles got to stop the bleeding.
Oh, there's one way to do it. Yeah. They've hit back-to-back 2-point jumpers. Newton working his way over to Jackson.
He can get by people now. Bradley's got to be careful.
Bradley looks like he's aware of that. Gives him some room. Now the give up to Newton. Trammell hits the floor.
They ball screen at 5.
3 to shoot. Down the lane. Flips it up. Tap. No.
Look at the work of his
No. And now the half will expire.
UConn got what they wanted, just couldn't convert their round.
Absolutely. They are tough at the rim.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Highlights, analysis as Greg, Charles, Kenny, Clark, and Jay break down the first half. It's coming up on AT&T at the half. The 60 total points in the first half. It's the fewest in the first half of a title game since UConn and Butler played on this floor in 2011, won by the Huskies that night. Let's go to Trace.
Coach, you were just talking to the officials, frustrated. What was the point there?
They're being very physical, and but they're 3 incredible refs. I love those three guys.
Well said. What have you been most impressed with your team, though? The way that you've been able to play offense against their defense or your defense against their offense?
I think our defense and then just what we're doing on the glass. We seem to be beating them to every basketball. I'm a little bit frustrated. We should probably be up 20. We've missed 3 or 4 layups at the rim, and we should be up 20.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
I'm sure that's the message you'll be delivering inside. They were up by as many as 16. It's 12 at halftime. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages that you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
This is AT&T at the half. AT&T. We believe connecting changes everything.
20 minutes down, 20 minutes to go for a national championship. And at the break, it is UConn 36, San Diego State 24. Welcome to AT&T at the half, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel alongside Clark Kellogg, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Jay Wright. If I'm not mistaken, you guys have all been preaching about how San Diego State can slow a team down, which they kind of did in the first half. However, they didn't get any results out of it.
No, they didn't, because they're so offensively challenged. Even though UConn is very good defensively, during that drought, San Diego State got some tremendous shot opportunities that they did knock down. And UConn is too good to have more than 1 or 2 droughts in a game.
Let's go to the highlights, Clark.
Yeah, well, the first 4-minute segment was exactly what you would hope to see if you're a San Diego State fan, because they got off to such a good start. Matt Bradley, nice penetration and jumper here. They knocked down a couple of threes, and they actually led after that first 4-minute segment. But then nobody seals as well as Sanogo does in the low post from the lower body down. And UConn, good movement, penetration, well connected offensively. Klingen off the nice assist from Calcaterra. And Jordan Hawkins and Sanogo really worked well together with the dribble handoff, playing off each other. UConn's offense, actually San Diego State, I think, fortunate to be within 12. UConn missed 3 or 4 layups in the last minute and a half. But here they are in transition. Such balance in the half court, in transition. There's really an explosiveness to this UConn Huskies team that's going to force San Diego State to have Bradley or Trammell go off in the second half for them to have a chance to come back.
I agree with you, Clark. You look at the way this first half was played, and you look at the scoreboard, and I'm shocked that San Diego State is only down by 12. What'd you see, Kenny?
Well, it's never a good thing when I heard them bring out the stats to you, and they said they were down 14 before, and now they're only down 12. You don't want to hear those kind of things. But one of the things you can't give up if you're a defensive hit, here's the score 10-10, is these drop passes. These are easy layups, but guys who don't have to create their own shot. And so here again, once you come around here, if you freeze it here, you're going to see your big. If you're UConn, said, where is he going to get the ball? And Donovan going to get it. Donovan Klingen. But all of a sudden, he was struggling to get some points on the break. He gets a lob. So what happens? Now you're down 23, and then freeze it again. A lot of times you say, good defense, this is the shot we want to force them to take. This is the shot he's looking for. A 2-1 dribble pull-up. So sometimes you cannot get the easy baskets because some of the shots that they're looking for are tough shots and tough baskets.
All right, let's go to the coach who's been here before. What'd you see, Jay?
You're right. The length of Connecticut is really affecting San Diego State, and you can see this inside. These are shots that they've normally made. Clark's saying these are shots they're used to getting, but Sanogo's at the rim, hands up, hands back. They also have Donovan Klingen with Sanogo backing him up, and now Klingen gets him again. And now look at even the length of Caravan. Alex Caravan gets in there to get a piece of it. Donovan Klingen has been outstanding defensively, protecting the rim, and it's also prohibited San Diego State from getting any offensive rebounds. What you have to do against that is you've got to shot fake them, get up in the air, and get into their body, get to the foul line. You're not going to score over them, or shot fake them, pivot, and kick it out for a three. But I think they'll make that adjustment at halftime.
Chuck, this Aztec team has been trailing in the past and come back.
Well, if you look at the stats, they played their style of ball, holding UConn to 36, but they were so awful offensively. You know what? They're going to have to make some shots. You can only keep plugging up the dam some of the time. Listen, they're lucky to be down 12. They should be, and I think the coach said they should be down 22 points. But you got to say to yourself, we cannot play that bad offensively again. I mean, it's impossible. I mean, I think it's impossible for them to play that bad. But you got to be encouraged they're only down 12.
CK?
Yeah, I think they've got to get some open court opportunities. I really think the only chance they have to come back in this game, they've got to force some turnovers. They forced 8 of them. But they need Bradley and Trammell to be quick attacking and looking for the first available good shot. They won't be able to effectively score against this UConn defense in the half court. They're too big, they're too long, and they are as good defensively as San Diego State is in the half court. That's something that we haven't emphasized enough. They can win this game in the 60s if it stays that way, and San Diego State's got to get the offense going to have a chance.
And to me, it's going to come down to offensive rebounding. The reason I said that, the big guys from Connecticut try to block everything. Jay said it. So sometimes your best offense is just to get the ball on the rim and get offensive rebounds, because they're two big guys. They come to help and block everything. So get the ball on the glass and get some offensive rebound. I think that could be huge for the Aztecs in the second half.
So you're in the locker room, Jay. What are you telling your team if you're down 12 at this point?
You're telling, Dutcher is telling his team, look, we're only within 12. We're going to have to dig and fight and scratch. We only have to lead at the end of this game by 1. Don't worry if we're down 7, down 6, down 5. Keep plugging away, but they have to realize what we're all saying here. They're not going to score at the rim. They got to pick up their pressure on the ball, try to disrupt Connecticut's offense. Not full court press, just disrupt, create some deflections, get out in transition a little bit, and when you get it inside, either get yourself to the foul line, don't try to score over them, or kick out for 3.
And if you're UConn, you're in the locker room saying, we can get anything we want. Let's go get it. Let's go home and get this national championship, because we're getting everything we want, and we can finish the game. We should be up 20, and now let's show them that we're the better team.
These Aztecs have won each of their last 2 games by a single point. They need to get a little closer than that if they want to do it again. 36-24, UConn in the lead at the break. Back with more AT&T at the half right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to NRG Stadium, 36-24, UConn in the lead. Take a look at these numbers. An optimist, Clark, would say, you know what? Brian Dutcher learned something in the first half, and look what happens when his team comes out and plays the second half.
There's no denying those numbers, but this is a different night and a different team they're facing, and they're trailing by 12. To Kenny's point, UConn has gotten everything they've wanted. They've missed some layups late. They should be up much more than they are, and they've got to be extremely confident, in part, not just because of what they can do offensively. They know they can stop San Diego State defensively, and that is tremendously reassuring for them as they get ready to start this second half, I would think.
How much is too far behind for this team?
Well, I'll tell you, if you're UConn, in the regular season, you get up like this, your kids are thinking, we got another game, we got more practices, I might relax a little in the second half. When you're in this game, those kids are thinking, we got 20 more minutes of our life to be a national champion. We're going to come out hungry. So I still think San Diego State's got a shot, but I think you're going to see Connecticut really hungry.
Is there a hat in their future?
Listen, hey, I feel good about San Diego State. They can't play any worse. And listen, those shots are going to fall in the second half. Aztecs going to win. They needed 3 if you're the Aztecs to start the game, to start this half, get it under double digits. However, UConn Huskies have won in Houston twice, national champions. This will be the 3rd. They are primed and ready to win the national championship.
All right, the Twitter world happens to be abuzz Every team Charles Barkley picks loses. That's what it says.
Did I pick Kansas last year? That's not quite true. Did I pick Kansas last year? And this year, hey, Aztec Nation, we're going to rise up.
The second half to determine a champion coming up.
Here is a look at the Powerade first half stats. And every column belongs to the Huskies, and I see you circling that, Raph.
Yeah.
Points in the paint.
Big influence. Their power game, and how about the ability to get it up and down? The vision, the push, the collapse in the D by Jackson. Get him organized from deep with the tray again. The deft little pocket pass, and why not?
But they're getting points in transition because of their defense. Great instincts here by Klingon. You can't teach that. And once again, tremendous defensive feel. Nothing can go on the offensive end for San Diego State.
Well, you look at this. Take shots that are 10 feet and in. They're 3 for 13 in that first half, the Aztecs. Great to be back. One more time.
Goodness.
My teammates.
That's the crew.
I'll carry that around. That will be in my house.
Oh, you need some adjustments with your lifestyle. You carry that around.
Hey, is there, for the Aztecs, is there a formula to get back in this thing? Came back from 14 down against Florida Atlantic, but this is a different bunch right here. It's been blowing people out.
I think dribble, drive, and kick, they got to get back to their game or some post-up.
Get back to playing tough basketball and playing confident.
There's Newton coming around.
The activity of Hawkins is amazing.
All the way to the backcourt.
That is amazing. He's holding his head in the other corner.
It was an impressive miss.
He'll make up for it. Don't you know?
Boy, that's that activity.
Why take the... Thought he was going to make a three and say, why a dunk when I'm setting myself up the whole time for a three?
Oh, his activity is incredible. There's a little tack and a step back. That's his game.
Well, they need him because he didn't make a basket in the last 16 minutes of that first half.
He's got great strength and body control. And they're going to stir it up on this end of the floor.
Jackson coming around the screen by Sanogo. Who's left for his lay-in. Sanogo.
I like that screen and roll out of the post right there.
Very
two-man game. Very unusual.
Bradley goes down to Minson, who's been giving fits down at this end of the floor.
The bodying up of Sanogo. Impressive.
He'll take the three. And a long rebound ends up back into the hands of Bradley, the shooter.
And the ball movement right now, they got to get into their sets. Get this defense to shift and then attack when appropriate.
Once again, a little dribble handoff.
Jamel, he's stuck. Able to save it. Oh, right off of Jackson, off his back.
Right here, this is just an impressive play. Little dribble handoff, and how about this? A little slip at the rim. And
it's maybe his easiest shot all night.
Painful.
Think he might get a second chance at that before this thing's over?
Oh, they're going to run that play again. No question about it.
Let's see it. 7 to shoot. Jamel, nice move getting around Newton. Johnson was there to try to follow it up, but it'll stay with a fresh 30 as we go over to Trace.
Jim, Brian Dutcher extremely positive coming out of the locker room. He said they're getting good looks. They are just not going down. He was disappointed, though, in their bench points. 0 bench points in that first half. As the players ran out of the locker room, they were all screaming 6 by 10, 6 by 10. They feel if they can get it to 6 at the 10-minute mark, they will be fine.
A timeout called. Trouble getting it inbound. It's 12 though right now. Let's take a look at the action captured by our House of Highlights fan cam, powered by AT&T 5G. Now the Huskies, they've gone deep onto that bench, and they can always do that. And that was a great point that Tracy made a moment ago about the lack of production tonight from the Aztec subs. 0 for 10 in the first half from the floor. 0 points. There it is. They've averaged 26. They had 27 off the bench against the Owls on Saturday.
And that's important to this team. 9 players average between 5 and 13 points a game. It is a team effort when they're at their best.
Nice little handle defensively here. If I knew to take him,
he's got to face him up. He can't back down Sanogo.
Nice hands. Under 10.
Trammell coming in with the trees. And he got fouled.
He's the one guy that can get in the lane and be creative.
But Raph, a couple of possessions right there. Trammell getting downhill, drawing the foul. We saw the first possession for San Diego State. We saw Bradley taking Jackson off the bounce. They're not on their heels like they were in the first half. They're in better attack mode, getting back to who they are on the offensive end.
2 shots for the underdog, self-anointed underdog. Says that he's always had people who doubted him, doubted his ability. That's where we got the idea to talk about a dreamer tonight coming into the championship game. Coming out of Marin City, right across the Golden Gate Bridge. Father's a chef. See if they can put together the right recipe here tonight for a little comeback.
And he is a good defender, can get after you.
Quick hands, too.
Very tough. They're really standing this trip. There they go. He can that's his. Oh, boy. That slot jumper. He can percolate.
4-3 of the game for UConn. They've made at least 9 in every tournament game so far.
He's been on the jump.
There's a 3 coming back. Mitchell with a nice rebound. And
Sanogo, I think. It's a pretty good activity to get this.
Raph, their offense, so much movement. It's like it gains energy as they go further in the clock, creating open opportunities, taking advantage of the confusion defensively.
I guess you could say that splashed for Caravan, who grew up a swimmer. He competed in all these New England competitions.
Who was his idol?
His idol growing up was not a basketball player. It was Michael Phelps. Who else? That series about basketball not that long ago. Here is Johnson.
And look at the help, too.
There he is.
By Sanogo. Look at him running the floor to big. He's got that early duck in.
He missed him.
I think Danny told him to slow down. That early tradition. Great coaches.
Now Jackson, he's going to work off that Sanogo screen. And I got a foul call against SDSU. Best Coke ever? Take a taste and see for yourself. You just brought it up here, Raph, about the Hurley family, and that is going to be, if it's their night in the end, that's going to be such a big story to think what they've done. There's Bobby, his brother, the coach at Arizona State. His dad, Bob, in the foreground. Caravan shooting again. Not this time.
Again, not a fast-breaking team. Of course, Bobby Hurley made Grant Hill. My goodness, without him, he wouldn't be here.
Big pass, wrap around, and they got another whistle.
Push underneath.
Once again, attack mode off the bounce. Trammell, one of the guys that can get to the paint. He's a little guy, but he has good vision there. And
good call.
It was the right call. But they're not settling right now in the first half. 11 three-point attempts for San Diego State. That's not their game. They're not a high-volume three-point shooting team.
Yeah, Trammell's fun to watch, too. First conference title at Seattle when he was up there.
Here's Keyshawn Johnson to shoot one more. The senior out of Oakland who's going to graduate in May, inspired by his brother Kenneth, who was a victim of gun violence. Shot 14 times and survived. This was back in 2011. And his brother just yesterday won the national wheelchair championship with his team, the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Road Warriors.
Yes.
Well, either way, they're both champions.
Yeah, well, he is so proud to rep his brother. Just yesterday in Kansas City, playing for the Road Warriors. There's Kenny.
Said he's really developing the ability to stand a little bit too, right? As I recall.
Yeah. His younger brother Keyshawn just wants to be an inspiration to younger and older, he said. She graduates with sociology and communications degree. Now,
such a
Huskies. Mensah thought it was clean.
And once again, Jim Jackson with the pass, but the ability of Sunoco to bury people. Occasionally, he makes them disappear. And just the angle of the delivery by Jackson, extraordinary.
Well, Raph, UConn does a great job of keeping everybody lifted on that action, so there's no help in there inside. Mensah on an island against the big fella.
Second one on Mensah. Boy, he's got a nice touch. Scan the QR code to watch the first episode of the new original series, Rabbit Hole, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Jimmy wanted to study math, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's so interesting. Most of the kids you talk to, you know, what were you down to? Well, I was down between, say, Syracuse and UConn. He was between France and coming to the U.S. to play basketball. He was not going to play hoops in school in France. He had an uncle here who said, come over here and take a chance on it. He's going to have a long career.
Yes, he will.
Of course, if you were making that choice, you were with the Paris, I think.
Oh, there's a block by Caravan. Minson, that's a nice save. Right back out. Butler scores.
And look at that burst. One dribble from the top of the key, attacking the glass. More of that needed from the Aztecs.
Sunoco really lifts and gives opportunities to cut. Hawkins busy.
That basket a moment ago was the first layup of the night, converted by San Diego State. Had missed the first 6, and there's a foul call on the shot. Trammell whistled for that one. We're just finishing a great presentation. The inaugural Tom Jernstedt Lifetime Achievement Award awarded to Jim Delaney, the former Big Ten commissioner. You see him on the right, basketball player at North Carolina way back in the day, and also posthumously honoring Dave Gavitt, his son Dan, accepting for him, and C.M. Newton, his son Martin, accepting the award. It was created earlier this year to honor one of the best to exemplify the leadership and service demonstrated by Tom Jernstedt during Tom's 38-year amazing tenure at the NCAA. All of these men made meaningful impacts on college basketball, and Jernstedt joined the NCAA in '72, was considered by many to be the father of the Final Four. Passed away in 2020. It's so great to see all of them being recognized tonight.
Their contributions are extraordinary. Behind the scenes, low key with humility, making this game bigger and better every year.
Newton was mentioned in his brother playing at Southern Illinois. I happened to run into him at halftime. And
did you say hello, friend?
I did. So we've already talked about you. So his family is a military family that lived in California, lived all over, but made their way to El Paso. And he's got a cousin who you may have heard of, Aaron Jones, a great running back from Green Bay, his first cousin. Newton brothers.
Aztecs have to find a way. That dribble drive has been effective to get to the rim, just like this. That blow by and the kick.
And a shot at the 3. There it is. That's Seiko.
That's his game. Catch and shoot. Oh, about the ability to get a lane touch.
And the first bench points of the night for the Aztecs.
Picks up your defense too when you can knock it down.
Newton. Come back out to Caravan. Over the top, it's tipped. It's tipped by Bradley, and then taken right back by Hawkins. Jackson says, I'll take that 3, and it's off the front.
Once in a while, he can knock that baby down.
Again to the corner. Newton closed fast to prevent the shot.
He got an offensive foul.
Yeah. You said it best, Raph. Attack and the help coming from the weak side. Seiko, a capable shooter, not a guy who aggressively hunts his shot, but he needs to step up and did right there. But once again, off the bounce, getting into the paint, making things happen on the offensive end, working for the Aztecs.
Well, the next time down the floor after hitting the 3, he's called for an offensive foul, his second.
A little more activity with the screens, rescreen. Look at the dunk in here.
Sunoco doubled up and trapped. Aline able to get it back outside.
He's open.
Look at that pass.
And a foul on Mensah, his 3rd.
Jim Jackson is so good getting to the spot and then the delivery.
The anatomy of a comeback when you talk about the win over the Owls. Now, this is about the point in the game it was on Saturday. Down 14. They only gave up 16 the rest of the way. 5 field goals and 4-6 turnovers. They did it with defense.
They're having trouble with Sunoco, who just buries people, and then Jackson, who cut to the top with a gorgeous dump down.
And Sunoco was open in there for a while. I mean, Jackson with that beautiful pass, but the activity, the movement, you can't help, particularly with that post-entry pass from up top, that high-low action, unguardable.
You know, guys, we were rattling off some of the threes playing the small forward position in UConn history, and the great ones. You mentioned Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, all those guys. Well, how about some of the centers we've seen during this incredible run that started with a championship in '99? You got Houston's very own Emeka Okafor, who was raised here in the city. Jake Bosco was raised outside west of here in Katy. Hashim DeBeat. Now they got 2 guys here that make quite a presence down low. Sunoco and Klingon being part of the fabric of these championship teams is Seiko.
And they're making him put it on the deck. They know he can shoot, but Jackson, the matchup here with Butler.
Butler takes it.
Got it.
Look good from this angle. It was online.
That's Jackson right there, though. Incredible defender. A little snake dribble. And
good block out.
Sure was.
Ledee.
Butler.
Maybe Ledee can give him a little spark off the bench. He hasn't scored so far. Here's Butler. No whistle.
Stood him up. Right to the rim goes Sunoco.
Driving in.
Oh, he just was
versatile.
Decided to just attack, didn't he?
But he can beat you in so many ways. From 3, off the bounce. Kind of plays within himself, so smart.
And look who's ahead of him, by the way. Did you see Sunoco?
Oh, he set the screen.
Couldn't him, yeah.
Screening the help. Ryan Dutcher not pleased with that call on both ends. He thought Butler got fouled on the other end as he was attacking the glass.
And I think it goes back to the offensive foul call on Seiko. Trip before that.
Not shooting, they're going to say. Klingon. Boy, count your blessings, right? Sunoco goes out. You get Klingon coming in.
Well, let's see, too, if San Diego State can now continue to get to the rim like they've had success with Klingon back in the game.
It'll be a 1-and-1, 17 fouls now on the Aztecs, just 7 minutes into the second half. So they've been living at the line here for a better part of the remainder. That one rattles out.
They got to move Klingon around, I think. Ledee's got to get away from the rim with him so they can do some damage. He's going to have some drop D.
Here is Ledee over Klingon. Look at that. It's so tough.
He does a silly foul by Ledee. But that spin, Ledee over the years can turn and charge, too. How about the footwork of Klingon?
Well, great footwork right there. But I think Ledee, you face him up. You got to just pull up and shoot it. You back him down. You're playing now to Klingon's advantage. On the perimeter, we saw him hit that jump shot the other day, and Ryan Dutcher says he can hit that mid-range jump shot. Maybe he'll have to settle for that against Klingon head-to-head.
1-and-1 for Newton.
Boy, a long way to go shooting 1-and-1 too, Grant. Goodness. Almost 13 minutes.
You ever seen a more superstitious head coach than Dan Hurley?
No.
I mean, he was excited about the name of their hotel because it sounded like his old gym.
White Eagle Hall, right?
Yeah.
Eagle Hall.
There's a great story about George Blaney, his impact on his life.
Just his wife, Andrea, George Blaney. Of course, he started with PJ Carlissimo at Seton Hall, but he really wanted to be able to acknowledge who brought him peace, because he admits that basketball was just a central figure in his life by the age of 5, and he collapsed to the weight of it with all the success. His brother and his father and his sister, Catherine Waters.
He's in a great place now, though. Nice challenge. One block.
Sister Catherine Waters is the one who really helped get things going for him.
And he was emotional mentioning her name, wasn't he?
More than emotional.
And by the way, Hudson County, where I'm from, in New Jersey, Freddie Shable was the UConn coach. Of course, George Blaney was an interim coach. Dan Haley, it's amazing their contribution to the Husky program. And speaking of, in the tradition of great coaches of Seton Hall,
maybe the greatest.
One of the great guys, that's for sure.
The only X-rated radio broadcast.
In history. 1989 finalist took Seton Hall and lost to Steve Fisher's Michigan team in Seattle for the title.
Which he had coached Danny as well.
Here's Ledee over Klingen. Boy, he just can't get a shot off with him standing there.
But he got the body, though. Got a piece of it.
Celebrate the 2023 national champion with officially licensed locker room tees, hats, and more. For all your team apparel and accessories, head to ncaa.com/shop.
And he does go in at him, but this is the third foul. He definitely had the hand down.
He did a good job of really throwing his arms into Klingen's arms right there and drawing that foul, but I just don't like that move for him down low. Stay on the perimeter and knock down that jump shot.
A local kid, right? Jim Ohio State first and then TCU.
But went to a very prestigious school here in Houston called the Kincaid School, where he was first team All-State 4 consecutive years at Kincaid. He'll shoot one more.
He had a big second half against Florida Atlantic on Saturday. Certainly his team needs him to do the same here.
Calcaterra on the floor energizes this team. A lot of handlers on the perimeter, plus Klingen. 4 around 1, really. Shuffle cut, ball screen, and then the dive.
Aline got into the paint. Oh, that almost went down. But we'll have more free throws on the other side here, fellas.
Yeah, frozen with that little dribble. Klingen at the rim, sucked into D. Hurley got him going.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri, which team has the most college basketball championships?
Well, we know this. UConn has a chance to move up on that list. That's led by UCLA's 11 titles. This is simply the second one down. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 6, a 7, and an 8 have all won championships, but a 5 seed never. And that's what San Diego State is trying to do here tonight. Be the first 5. And they've committed 14 fouls, 11 turnovers. We've already had 15 free throw attempts in this second half, and we're only 8 minutes in.
11 total fouls in the first half, 14 already. Amazing.
Well, you wonder, too, if that's a result of Brian Dutcher getting his team, imploring his team at halftime to play a little tougher, be a little bit more disruptive, but you want to try to be smart with that activity on the defensive end and not give away free baskets.
So the lead was 12 at halftime. It's up to 15 now.
Big guy stringing it out. He's got 3. He's got to be careful.
7 to shoot. Butler's going to come in. Slipping, gets it out to Ledee. It's a
That's
jumper.
what you said. He can make that.
And what it does, it pulls Klingen out now. Klingen's instincts are going to be the one to help on dribble penetration, and got to step up and knock down that shot with confidence.
Got to get Hawkins moving again. They love that little short corner.
Able to get it to Klingen.
Let's go up big.
And no stopping that.
Keep the ball up.
Yeah, he does a great job. So fundamentally sound.
Mel trying to fade away. And there's
a rope,
able to get it back out. Here's a 3. Good shot by Butler.
That's the same spot he hit the first basket of the night on the other side for San Diego State. So second chance points. Kind of how they got back in the game Saturday night.
Got to stay tough on this defensive end. Got to be careful on that push off.
Alcantara now. Goes to Jackson.
That's not what they want.
Live with that if you're at Aztecs.
Exactly.
Here's another three. And it's Jackson underneath.
I made up for it, though, with a great check out on the rope.
The score, 53-41, was the final score here in 2011 when UConn beat Butler.
It's magical.
He knows it all.
That's on the top of his head. You can't play golf with it.
After tonight, I've got nowhere to dispense with that. Here's Calcaterra.
Well, you can call us next year and dispense whatever you want. We'll take it. Mr. Energy, Joey, California, drilling it.
His dad's here in the Bay Area, and he is celebrating that shot by his son. Proud father. Here's Luke D getting another shot to go.
They're going to ride that. Why not? String some stops together for the Aztecs. Hawkins has not been as in motion as much. I think he's a little bit fatigued.
Calcaterra's going to take it in.
Loves the floater.
And the run just a little too
Look
strong.
at this kid.
Clinging, got hands in there. The tap out comes back to Calcaterra, who launches back to the rim. A lead, all these opportunities, and finally, it's the Aztecs.
Oh, you got to bring it back out on that shot. Run some time, get a good one.
Little mismatch here. Ledee flips it, and he has that one softly dropped.
And right now, Ledee really giving them some offense here, some life. But if you said it best, they got to get some stops on this end, San Diego State.
And Trammell was the guy that set that up. Quick timeout. This team doesn't go away, Jim.
Well, we told you what Ryan Dutcher said. He said this team is unafraid and fearless.
And this guy is the same. Relentless. Some nylon from team Joey C. Stringing it up.
3 o'clock Eastern Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern time on CBS. Chance of some iffy weather by the weekend. It could be in the 50s.
So you will not be wearing your white shoes, I guess.
Yeah, I wear those all the time.
Cartman in, Jim. Gonna get the starting lineup right now.
Yep.
Sunoco time, maybe.
Hawkins.
Short. Pull the string.
On the floor.
Sunoco just gives you effort. I know it's off of him.
Missed opportunity there for Hawkins.
Yeah.
Great execution. Got a shot that he wanted. And getting on the ground here, understanding what's at stake. And Sunoco.
We're coming close to 8 minutes. They have not gotten it to single digits. Not gotten it under 10 in the second half.
Yeah, I would use Ledee, even though Sunoco's on him now. Different match. But this kid's done a great job. Trammell getting to the lane.
Here's Johnson. That's a three, and it's down to 8. They got the single digits.
Big Caravan
shot, right? The Caravan didn't close out right there.
Exactly. No hand up. Right now, you got to find out what you're like, too. Who wants the shot? Nice denial.
Trammell takes it away. Coming in and laying it in for 2 more. And we got a ball game with 7.5 to go.
Want to slow it down? Use the...
Slow down, run your sets, and get the ball inside of Sunoco.
I thought he might call the time. Wants the media timeout.
You saw him going crazy at the Viejas Arena, where they sold out over 12,000 every game this season. Here's Newton. Rattles out. Tap, yes.
Even prettier.
How about that? You've got to put a body on him, and good luck as well.
That ended a 9-0 run for the Aztecs. That put that tap in.
Yeah, but then Hurley's confidence in his team, too. Nice pocket pass.
And Johnson is fouled on the way up in the act of shooting.
Sunoco.
Woo. They are tough. San Diego State team seeing some production out of the bench in this half. A 9-2 run. Ledee coming in and giving them some valuable minutes. It's a program with 32 wins this season, and since 2020, the third best win percentage in the country, only better by Gonzaga and the University of Houston. Those are your top three. San Diego State. And there's back the head coach. The Houston Cougars have resided at #1 in the country for 7 weeks this season. The great Kelvin Sampson.
What a job he's done at your alma mater, Houston. Final Four a couple years ago.
Very proud of the program. The job that Kelvin has brought to the Cougars, who head to the Big 12 this fall. One more coming at the line for Johnson.
You know, San Diego State, they like to cross on that free throw, expecting a miss. So good at securing offensive rebounds off the free throw.
Bradley really good at it, too. Sticks that shoulder in. This is what I would do. Let Jackson bring it up against Bradley.
They got to run their stuff. They got to get back to running their action.
And running it, too, like speed.
With pace.
Yeah.
Caravan.
They got a little grab on the cut.
Danny Hurley
called on Parrish. That's now going to be 2 the rest of the way. Double bonus. Third foul on Parrish, and maybe he can perk up a little bit on the offensive end. He has not scored, gives him usually 8 a game.
And he hunts shots too. Effective from deep, mid-range. And this could get Hawkins going again too. A little confidence flowing.
We asked him what brought him to UConn, and he said he had a good vibe with Coach Hurley. He said, you come here, we can do special things here with you. That's what he told him when they walked him through the facility, and they had the videos of all the championships, and this young man dreamed of one day being a part of the next video that is updated.
I'll tell you, he is special with the speed going into his shot. Maybe the best in all of college basketball.
I would agree with you. I just love how he gets organized. Nice blow by.
Round Hawkins, and no whistle.
Oh, that was close, to goodness. But the arm came down, didn't it?
There. It looked like it. Gene, did you see contact there?
You know what? To me, guys, it looks like he just jumps back, and I think he splits both defenders without any contact.
He was trying to draw the contact.
Here.
Great hands. Look at Butler. Butler able to lay it in. He knew Newton was right around him.
Well, that's why I would not have Newton bring the ball up. I would have others. Aline's out there. Hawkins. And when Jackson was in there, let him do it. This kid is so tough on the ball, or both of them. Look at the dunk in. Sunoco was there. He was paying rent.
It's Newton. Pulled down. Ledee coming up with some monster minutes in this second half.
A tough match, I think, for Alex inside. Caravan.
The seal.
Oh, what a duck in.
Johnson fouled. Almost had the three-point opportunity.
That's the play we've been talking about for 2 days.
Great hands right there. Butler finishing at the rim. The previous possession, he tried to initiate contact and actually avoided the contact, but right there made up for that missed opportunity, getting the easy 2. That's right, that dribble handoff coming off that, the weak side big, they're so good at sealing. To your point, they haven't done that much tonight. Johnson taking advantage there.
We talked about the Hurley family. Dan, the son of a coach, and there is Brian Dutcher's father, Jim Dutcher, head coach at the University of Minnesota. He wasn't here on Saturday. Had a snowstorm. Had a hard time making his way here. Boy, is he proud to see what his son
I'll tell you, he looks great, too, but I think I'd look good if I had George Gervin or McHale. Of course, retired Michael Thompson, Flip. Saunders.
As close as this game has been since it was 16-12. And we got 5 minutes to go for the title. Here's Hawkins. That's huge.
How about that, the way he uses the screen and get the puppies organized in a flash.
Oh, that pass almost got away. Save, tiptoe save. Too high on and the save it was.
Oh, nice play defensively.
Boy,
So good.
Made up for that bad pass.
So good.
His third steal.
Again, that little Duncan mismatch here.
Pulled down by Bradley. Desperate times for the Aztecs to convert every time down the floor.
Good defense.
Really good by Sonogo. Oh, did he stand them up?
Active hands, physicality, textbook.
Being tested right now by a gutsy team. Nice gamble again.
Almost a fourth steal for Trammell. As now Sonogo.
A good knock called in to reach him by Caravan. Small change, not a good one.
At the under 4 here, boys. It was 5, it's back up to 8, but this thing is still in the balance. Let's take a look at the Capital One rewarding performance.
Sonogo showing his touch, his footwork, his patience on that block. Just been doing it all tournament. Great hands. And I love his feet, his mobility, ability to play defense, get in position, hard worker. Fantastic performance, and he is in rarefied air with some of those names.
How about those names?
Yeah, that's
Elijah Wan. I had a friend of mine used to announce those games years ago. But how about this defense? The body, solid, holding your ground, great contest. Big fella doing a big-time job.
Well, he was going to study math in Paris, but he knows how to put up numbers over here in the States. That was a missed opportunity there with Johnson at the line.
See, I like this now. Don't have Newton bring it up. They've really been doing a good job right on little nickel dimer by Seiko.
We got Tracy with an update.
Ryan Dutcher during that timeout moved the ball, passed the ball, continued to fight. As for Danny Hurley, he said no more turnovers and we win a national championship.
And that was a tough break right there for San Diego State. All of those fouls early, getting into the bonus. Right there, Seiko fouling 40 feet from the basket. And
that's really number 3 for him, too.
Coming up next, get all of tonight's highlights and analysis, the trophy presentation, as well as one shining moment. It's on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, right after the game. Got them both. Newton with 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
And you can shoot at 80%. You want him on the line. A little run out. Mensa not been on the floor with the D playing so well. Got to force Seiko to put it on the floor. Good D, make him use clock. Butler. Nice rebound.
Newton coming in.
Pretty.
Well, he came flying in for that one.
He does a lot of nice things. Gets 4 rebounds a game for this club as well.
He's got 9 tonight. He's 1 rebound away from a double-double.
Has 4 as well as 4 assists a game.
Had a couple of triple-doubles this year.
Yep.
Under 3 to go. Find an opening. Scores again. Take it over.
This kid, he's the one matchup that I thought would be difficult. Tough to contain.
Ooh, almost a turnover there.
Bradley. Rebound. Fernando now has his double-double.
And 2 contested three-point attempts by San Diego State, getting away from what got him back in the game.
Bradley 0 for 4 from 3 tonight.
They used as much clock, under 10 before they get in motion.
High screen and roll, hit the Sonogo. That's been working.
And watch Hawkins too. They,
oh wow!
Goodness, wow! Look who rebounds.
Well, that's why. Call it a pass.
They got a foul on the floor. Yeah.
That was some shot.
Well, there was a switch right there, so obviously Sonogo had Bradley on him, but there's almost like you said, just throw it up there and let the big guy go get it.
what a jack. That's a head shaker.
Oh, man.
Andy Hurler to Luke Murray. His assistant, I think, probably had the scout, judging by his participation.
His family watched on the internet back in Mali on Saturday night at 2:30 in the morning, in the middle of the night. They're doing the same thing right now.
A gentle big guy. The Patrick School. New Jersey?
Yeah, after again, an uncle who was residing in California said, we could make some calls, maybe find you a place to come over before college and pursue this basketball thing. Never forget how he opened up Saturday's game and knocked down 2 threes in the first 3 minutes.
I think he enjoyed that more than anything. Yeah. Got to go quick. For a team that's not used to going quick. Contested, tough shot. This kid, big time, big, Jim, absolutely, big time taker.
Ends a 9-0 run by the Huskies. That jumper by Trammell. All the championships, 3 by Calhoun, 1 by Ollie, and can Hurley get his tonight in Houston? Under 2 minutes to go, and San Diego State has only 1 timeout remaining. You saw UConn a bunch this year, Bill. Did you have the idea that this looked like a national championship team?
I did early, and in the middle I sort of bailed out. But it
sounds like the guy we know.
But all of a sudden they put it together. I think the offense has perked up. I think the defense and rebounding has been their strong suit.
And Raph, do you think that adversity mid-season has helped this team?
No question. No question. I think it's also helped Dan's demeanor on the sideline, the way they're playing of late.
Caravan running the baseline out of the timeout.
Little 2-2-1. Got to go over the top.
So tough with 4 ball handlers on the floor right now for UConn.
Nice pass.
Inside they go to Hawkins.
Good call, too, Grant.
That was textbook. Butler. Back out to him. Bradley. Able to draw the foul there by Jackson.
You said it best, textbook, to attack that pressure. Really just one pass, another pass, easy layup. Great communication, awareness, and so connected out there on this floor, and certainly back
in Campbell Pavilion.
Oh, excited.
A great building, too.
Good Dan. Still coaching.
He is an amazing guy. Did it at Wagner, Rhode Island.
Run into the 1-on-1 right there, converted.
And what a great addition to the Big East Conference as well.
St. Benedict as well?
Yeah, that's where he said that Father Edwin thought so highly of him, gave him that opportunity.
All of these people we mentioned. Of course, his own father, his wife, George Blaney we mentioned, his brother, his big bro, Sister Catherine. He says, I cry a lot because I think of a lot of people.
A very emotional, caring young man.
And I think it could be a tearful trophy presentation just based on what we've seen, even going back to a Zoom call we had with him last week.
He was talking about it, and Andre Jackson almost got emotional, Jim.
He did get emotional. Just saying what a great leader, but even a greater person he is.
Brilliant mind.
But they can feel it now.
Yeah, the house can feel it as well.
Think about what they've done now. They're on their way to a 5th title since '99. I can remember when this team, this program, won a Big East tournament in the Garden in 1990, and it was such a massive achievement. They'd never done anything.
Right.
You know, and then 9 years later, they're in the Final Four. Now they're here for the 6th time.
Is that the Ray Allen layup that you were thinking of? Is that the one?
No, well, no, that was like John Gwynn and that.
Oh, yeah.
That group.
Right.
Gwynn.
And I think what they've done, the potentially 5 championships here, They close it up here this last minute 20 in such a short period of time.
It's the thing. They've got more titles since '99 than any other program in the country. It's going to be their 5th. They already had that best since '99. And giving them 5 overall is going to tie them with the likes of Indiana and Duke on that list, behind only UCLA, Kentucky, and Carolina.
They're right now in total control, and give another foul, and they can feel it.
They're going to have another double-digit win the way this is going.
Pretty impressive, huh?
I mean, the last team who went through the tournament and won every game by 10+ was Villanova in 2018. And I remember North Carolina, Roy Williams' team in 2009 did the same thing, winning the championship in Detroit.
What's impressive is this is probably their toughest game here tonight, their closest game. And they had to grind it out. Hawkins hit a big 3 as San Diego State was getting back into it, but so many weapons, so well coached.
I think that Jim's point when he asked if I knew they were there, I think the offense has really, you know, the defense and the rebounding, but the offense now, so many options, so many people who can make plays and unselfish. Oh, he's all excited. He gave the fist pump. He gave the fist pump. He's going to hold it, not shoot. The man has arrived nationally.
Oh, has he ever?
With this program.
And Jackson. The foul call as he took the shot with a fraction of a second to go on the shot clock. No, they've arrived.
A timeout now by Brian Dutcher.
You wouldn't think you'd have to kind of like recreate, renovate, restore the program with all the success we just talked about, but it wasn't in great shape when Dan first got the job.
No, and what it's done, I think, moving into this Big East Conference, I think the recruiting level has stepped up, and obviously the competition in the league has forced them to become a terrific basketball program.
And you see that clip that Dan Hurley had a few years ago, and he said, we're coming. We are coming as a program. Yeah. We're on our way back, and prophetic in a way.
That was in 2020.
Yeah.
Just get us now if you can.
I think it was after the Villanova game, wasn't it?
It's not going to be like this all the time. You think about, they come through the West again. That's another odd thing, that 3 of their 4 previous national titles, they had been the champion out of the West Regional, and they were again this year.
I think Georgetown won in the West. I think Seton Hall got to the final from the West.
In '89.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's been good to this program is the state of Texas.
Yeah.
They've already won titles in '04 in San Antonio. They won in Houston, in this building, in '11. They won in Dallas in 2014. There's going to be 4 out of 5 championships have been won in the Lone Star State.
And I think you mentioned Newton had a double-double. I know one of the guys in the booth here alongside his grand is going to have a double-double later. What a career. God bless you, kid.
Yes, indeed.
We're all going to miss you.
Bless you, my friend.
I think all these college kids. And the recognition the other night was so fitting.
Well, I love you, but this is their moment. And I want to enjoy all of this, what Dan Hurley and this Husky team has been building up to since October the 15th.
And knowing PJ's probably crying already. His affection for Seton Hall and the program, and Danny.
We're thinking of crying too. Bob Hurley, Sr., the legacy that he has started basketball-wise, having his sons coaching, and Dan, who, as we talked about, had a tough road.
Luke Hug, these guys have done some job with this program. Kamani Young, he thinks is ready for that next step.
By the way, they've already announced to us internally that Adamo Sanogo has been named the most outstanding player. Kind of expected that, but you don't normally hear it this soon.
He was dominant this entire tournament. Every game.
You know, as good as he was and others, they don't win without Jackson.
I agree.
He's just the heart and soul of this program.
They run it out, and it's in the hands of the coach's son.
How about that? Is that appropriate?
Well, don't you know, just someday he'll be a coach of his own program. This is becoming a family dynasty, if you will.
And Dutch, what a year he's had, too.
Burley and the Huskies have their dreams come true. We're in a new era for college basketball with the portal, NIL. One of the things that Dan Hurley talked about. It's important to me that my players, they come to UConn because they want to be a part of this UConn history and that they want to play for me. And that's got to be the driver, not anything else. Not about what kind of NIL you can get. He wants him to come and commit to his kind of system, and that commitment, we saw that throughout this tournament.
These kids did follow suit, and when you think of it, the game is special. There are issues off the court. People want to see these kids perform.
You got it, Trace.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations, Coach. Just another incredible performance tonight. Many people midway through the season said they didn't think you guys can do it. How did this team get it done?
Well, they buried us before the season, and then they buried us at the midpoint because we weren't ranked going into the year, so we had the chip on our shoulder. And, you know, we knew the level that we could play at, even through those dark times. And when you have a guy like Andre Jackson, who's the captain of your team, and an Adama Sanogo, you know, it's easy to get back on track.
You just had a long embrace with your son. You're here in front of your dad and your whole entire family.
You're right over there.
We know the journey that you have been on to get here, to be able to accomplish this for UConn. What does it mean?
It means everything, and you know, for me, obviously, I'm not here without that special group of coaches and players, but I'm probably also not here if I didn't have to deal with that adversity, and if I didn't have tough people that raised me, like a tough older brother, you know, that prepared me, you know, for all the adversity that you have to face in life and battle back from.
Go enjoy it. Congratulations.
A little confetti toss for Dan Hurley. Guys, I'm at a loss.
We're at a loss.
We're at a loss for sure. The GOAT.
Just remember, one thing I learned through all of this is everybody has a dream and everybody has a story to tell. Just try to find that story. Be kind.
You told it better than most, let me tell you.
Can I tell you one other thing? I mean this, not to try to play off hello friends, but to you, everybody in the college game, my CBS family, my family, all the viewers, thank you for being my friend.
We've been talking about what a dominating team this UConn Husky squad is. How about the last 4 games? They trailed for a total of 5 minutes and 22 seconds. 4:35 tonight. UConn beating San Diego State by a score of 76-59. 5 times the Huskies have played in the national championship game, and for a 5th time, they will cut down the nets. Last 4 times here in the state of Texas. Once in San Antonio, once in Arlington, and twice now here in Houston. Welcome to Inside March Madness, presented by Buick. I'm Greg Gumbel, joined by Clark Kellogg, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Jay Wright. I don't think it's an understatement or an overstatement to say that this has been a very dominating team, even though this wasn't quite the UConn team we expected to see.
What we saw was the journey of a champion. This is what it takes to win a championship. This Connecticut team continue to improve throughout the tournament. I guarantee you when they get back in the locker room, Danny Hurley's going to tell those guys, if we can practice again tomorrow, we'll keep getting better. Because this team improved all the way through the season, even into this last game, in every aspect of the game. Offensive execution, defensive execution, free throw shooting, 21 for 23. This is what it takes to win a championship.
Extremely impressive. And to Jay's point, they were dominant because they got better, and they could win multiple ways. A grinded out game. They shoot 35% in the second half, but they get to the free throw line. They get in the bonus early. And the defense was really solid throughout. 32% field goal defense the last 4 games for the UConn Huskies, in addition to all of that versatility and firepower on offense.
Kenny, I love the little things that coaches say at times. Tracy Wolfson, in her report, 3 minutes and 40-second mark of the second half, when she said that Coach Hurley told his team on the sideline, no more turnovers, and we win a championship.
Well, first let's congratulate San Diego State. A heck of a season. Let's acknowledge that. However, when we see this, Chuck, we just thought it was too much on both ends. This was what a team is made about, both on the offensive end, being explosive, but then can shut you down. Well, the best team won for sure. You got to take your hat off to Dan Benedict, who's the AD at UConn. He did a great job getting them back in the Big East and also hiring Danny Hurley. But the best team won, not just tonight. They were the best team in this entire tournament.
All right, let's take you back down to the court now, where our Jim Nance is standing by for the trophy presentation. Jim.
Thank you, Greg Gumbel. And folks, here are your national champions, the UConn Huskies. And Chris Reynolds, who's the chair of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Committee, is here to present the trophy to the champions.
On behalf of the NCAA and the Division I Men's Basketball Championship, I want to thank both teams for a terrific effort on tonight and also during this entire tournament. And now I'm here to pass over the hardware. The National Championship Trophy.
Everybody wants to touch that. Come on over here, Coach. Here you go, Chris. I think I got you wrapped up. You're good. You're good. Dan, this has been an amazing journey this season, this tournament run. This team looked pretty unbeatable every time you looked up. What happened with this team come tournament time?
Just, I think the group just had a lot of confidence from how we played for a majority of the season, and then when you have the type of leaders like Andre Jackson and Adama Sanogo, they kept this team together, got us back on track, and we knew we were the best team in the tournament going in, and we just had to play to our level.
What was your message to the team since the horn sounded? You've visited with every single one of them. What are the words you've expressed?
Well, you know what? We're UConn. We had the 4 national championships coming in, right? We've been striving for number 5. Now we got our own. Now we got our own. We got our own. Let's go.
He told him. I just can't believe your own personal journey and the people that have touched your life and your career, and we talked about it, Grant and Raft, and we talked about all the people in your life that got you to this moment. Could you tell us about it?
Yeah, I can't. You can't make me cry in front of all these people right now, Jim. I mean, so many people, my wife Andrea, my boys, my dad, my brother, my mom, Jersey City, New Jersey. But now I got this new home, Connecticut. Too many people to name, but unreal.
Sister Catherine.
Sister Catherine Waters, Coach Blaney, PJ, all the unbelievable people I've had in my life. And then all the special players and coaches, unreal.
You're an unbelievable leader. Congratulations, Dan. You're the national champion.
Thank you.
I want to get Adamo over here real quick. Come on over here, Adamo. The most outstanding player at the Final Four, Adamo Sanogo. Hey, your mom and dad are watching right now on the March Madness app in the middle of the night, and they're seeing their son up here being celebrated. You want to pass along a message halfway around the world?
I just want to say, like, anything is possible. Just believe in yourself. Make sure you make the right decision. I think everything is possible. So just believe in yourself. I want to use like this time to thank my teammates, my coaches, to believe in me. Because if it was not for them, I would not be here right now. So I just want to take this time to thank my teammates and the coaches.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm a man. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tristan, come on over here.
Yes.
You played a tremendous game. Just real quick, your thoughts on being the national champion.
Feels great. Credit to my teammates, my coaches, getting me here. Just feels great to be a national champion.
Well, listen, you guys, there's some nets that are about to come down and a song that's going to be played in your honor called One Shining Moment. It's been an honor to watch excellence at its best here. The UConn Huskies are the national champions. Houston, thank you for a spectacular week, and we'll continue on CBS in a moment.
Welcome back to Houston, everyone, where the Huskies have won themselves a national championship and now underestimated to undeniable, presented by Powerade, featuring who else but UConn. Unranked in the preseason AP poll, the Huskies become the 6th team to win 5 national titles, moving them ahead of last year's champion, the Kansas Jayhawks. Let's hit tonight's highlights of this game, and from the very start, there was really not much doubt, Clark.
Actually, the first few minutes, San Diego State had a lead, got some early offense from Matt Bradley, and at the first 4-minute timeout, led by 2, but UConn playing through Sanogo in the paint. He was brilliant throughout this tournament, but he wasn't alone. Calcaterra finds Klingon for 2 at the rim. UConn has such balance offensively, and here the 2-man game. Hawkins and Sanogo, great finish. Hawkins finishes with 16 points. That's what he averaged during the tournament. Trammell tries to get San Diego State going, but the deficit still double digits. I thought Tristan Newton was outstanding, had a handful of turnovers, but a double-double, big shots, perfect from the foul line. UConn continued to come so many different weapons. The second half, San Diego State, most of the second half was played with a 10 to 12 point lead for UConn. The big fella going to work inside. And it seemed like when San Diego State was threatening to grab momentum, somebody for UConn stepped up to make a big shot. Big 3 here from Keshad Johnson. And a pilfer for points. Darion Trammell and Viejas Arena rocking, but this was a dagger from 5 down to 8 down for the Aztecs, and then Newton. He had 5 critical points here as the lead continued to swell to double digits. A 16-4 run from the time that the Aztecs have cut it to 5.
You're absolutely correct, Clark, because every time the Aztecs threatened, there was an answer coming from the Huskies. They win it 76-59. It takes us to the Capital One Venture Card double-double of the night, featuring UConn's Adamo Sanogo, the Final Four most outstanding player, who tonight recorded his 4th double-double of this NCAA tournament, his 10th of this season. Meanwhile, Werner is proud to provide special edition podium ladders for the net-cutting celebration. Warner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness. Jay Wright, there's only one team that gets to mount those ladders at the end of the tournament.
There is, and it's a shame because San Diego State played like a champion to the end through this entire tournament. Only one team can win it. And it's interesting, Tristan Newton was always the question all year. They don't have a true point guard. And in a championship game, he comes up with 19. Credit to him and Danny Hill and his staff for figuring this out.
Yeah, you know, San Diego State had a great year, and they just compete.
Yeah.
You know, they never gave up. They could never get. Big question for them has always been their offense, and it really showed tonight against an elite defensive team. But I tell you what, man, this Connecticut team, they got hey, whatever the question is, they got a lot of answers.
Yeah, that's right.
They got a lot of answers.
Yeah, the one thing that San Diego State has done all year is that they've been able to be more physical, and they've been able to kind of put you on your heels by that defensive prowess. Tonight, they just played against guys offensively who are comfortable being uncomfortable. And so offensively, that was the difference, I thought. And then when about 12 minutes to go, they were in the penalty, and you got guys on the Connecticut who could shoot free throws. The game was pretty much, in my mind, over when it's 12 minutes to go and you're in the penalty.
I can only imagine being at the top of that ladder. You must feel like you're at the top of the world at the end of the NCAA March Madness. The UConn Huskies come away champions in the state of Texas once again. We'll be back. Welcome back to Houston, everybody. Time to check out the play of the day, brought to you by the new 2024 Buick Encore GX. Jordan Hawkins. That three stretched the Huskies' lead to 8. They never really looked back, although Chuck said San Diego State kept pushing. They didn't push hard enough, and every time they did push, the Huskies had an answer and went on to win it by a score of 76-59. Coming up next, bracket breakdown comes your way. Coming up next, CBS Sports Network bracket breakdown. Meanwhile, our Tracy Wolfson had a chance to catch up with Coach Dutcher of the Aztecs.
Coach, UConn made it difficult from the start. You did make a little run there in the second half, but ultimately, why was it so hard for you guys tonight?
We cut it to 5. We were battling, but, I mean, this is a really good team that beat us tonight. And like I said, if we find a team that'll beat us, we'll tip our hat to them, and they beat us. They were the better team, and they're deserving national champs. But I love my team. I love my locker room. I just talked about a brotherhood that we have that I've been at San Diego State 24 years, so it's a 24-year brotherhood, and this is a group we'll always be proud of. And their family. Juwan Howard's in there. We sat in that same locker room disappointed many years ago, and here he is supporting me. We're family, and once you're family, it is forever.
And you told me all tournament long it's about the players. What can you say about what they accomplished this year for San Diego State?
Oh, they're selfless. I mean, they're what you want in a college athlete. They're good people, they're good students, and they're good players. And if they're not all three of those, you can't feel good about your effort. I have all that with this team. They represent themselves, their families, and our university with great pride.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Coach, thank you. Tracy, thank you. Before we say goodnight, what's the thought that you take away from not just this night, maybe this tournament, Chuck?
It never ceases to amaze me. I just want to thank CBS and Turner for giving me an opportunity to work the Final Four. I want to thank every person that sent me emails on stats every week and doing the tournament. It's a lot of work. I really appreciate everybody. Greg, you a legend. Clark, you know how much I respect and love. Jay, I've known you too long. Kenny, we got to go back to our real job now. And I just want to say thanks to everybody at CBS, especially Mindy, who's retiring to Florida, and Freddie, my ATM buddy up in New York. And so Mindy told me to come visit her in Florida.
So I'm going to jump on a plane sometime and go down to Florida and say, hey, where's Mindy? She didn't tell me where she lives.
Kenny.
This is just a great expedition because it's a true competition. Because sometimes when in professional sports, you kind of know what the outcome's going to be. But the true part of competition is there's doubt. And then this is what happens. You've seen it throughout this tournament. It's been great. It's been special for me even tonight. Many know that my brother Vince pretty much raised Kamani Young, the associate head coach at UConn. He calls him dad, and he's been in my house every day. And to see him win a national championship is like a part of me is up there with him as well. So we're excited for the Aim High family.
Jay Wright, you have seen this from a couple of different viewpoints.
I have, and I want to thank you guys for allowing me to see it from this perspective with you. You guys were great to me, and CBS, Warner Brothers Discovery, let me be a part of this. It's been awesome. But the team that we have here is amazing, and this UConn team led by Danny Hurley is a real attribute to the coaches. Kamani and Danny, they got better individually every day, and they got better as a team every day. And if they played tomorrow, they'd get better.
Clark Kellogg.
What a privilege to be part of a great event that never fails to deliver. Worthy champion in UConn, and a valiant effort and a tremendous run for a first-time Final Four entrant. Not only San Diego State, how about Florida Atlantic and Miami University as well, making their first trip to this venue for this special occasion. Man, what a great, great run, and congratulations to UConn. Worthy, dominant, and deserving champion.
Yeah, we all know how many people we have to be grateful to for being able to do this, and we thank them. For all of us, we thank you for joining us throughout another incredible college basketball season, and congratulations to the 2023 NCAA National Champion UConn Huskies. It is time now for one shining moment. Enjoy.
Music, you know what time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
The waiting is over, and the curtain's set to rise.
The madness has begun.
Hello, friends. Ready to make a few shining moments?
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star, and all the years, no one knows just how hard you work.
Oh, he didn't need to do that. He threw it away. Anything is possible.
They're frozen in time.
Do you believe it? A 16 beats a run.
And the road in the blinking of an eye. That moment's gone, and when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best, 'cause inside you knew that in one shining moment you reached deep inside.
Nobody
one shining moment you knew Feel the beat of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest, it's more.
The biggest win in Hurricane Hoops history. Miami heading to the Final Four. 2 seconds. San Diego State is going to the Final Four.
It's done. Win or lose, you always did your best.
There's no other team going to the Final Four than UConn.
In one shining moment, you reach for the sky.
He wins it with the jumper. A San Diego State miracle. Miami, just no match for the Husky Express. The journey, it ends right here. For the three, yes.
their dreams come true.